Oh, it's Wednesday, baby. It's Wednesday, working through this week. You're listening to AM Ocala Live, WOCA, The Source, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, streaming live, YouTube Live, WOCA, The Source Radio, as we are now just about 20 minutes before the top of the 11 o'clock hour, as we're going to round out our show now, as we just finished up our little on this day in history, little bits of history within the lessons of talking about what took place in the past, which is a new segment we've been doing here for the last 2 weeks, which I find just awesome and interesting because I'm actually learning some things as it goes, and I love doing that nonetheless, and it gets you thinking about some interesting events that had taken place that maybe we forgot about, and then some things that you maybe forgot about that realize history repeats itself nonetheless. But interesting overall, and it's funny how certain things get pointed out with history, and then you look back at the years thinking that wasn't that long ago, and yet, man, like we mentioned one from 2013, like that's not long ago. Man, that's over 7 years ago. You know, that's more than half the decade, which is just incredible how time seems to be flying by, although when you start to break things down day to day, which a lot of people are now, like we said, with the quarantine and social distancing and being at home and not at work, it feels like some people's days even drag even farther along, which sometimes it feels like that whether you're at work during the middle of the week or now you're stuck at home like you are, it does feel like, oh man, what day is it? So it's amazing how time is it's perceived different ways to different people, even though it's there and it's always going to tick-tock. It's the mindset of it. And I think it's fascinating considering how I pay attention to it so much more now and have to feel time when we're coming to our breaks and stuff like that. But I think overall what I'm talking about is the fact that we're now getting through the first full week of April. And just saying that alone is where we've come so far in this year of 2020, this new decade. And not only that, too, the idea of the optimism that was supposed to be there with the idea of a new year and a new decade and the challenges that we've faced so far this year, which is astounding, not just in lieu of the pandemic, but the shortage of toilet paper. Am I right? Anyway, moving on, as we got some fun stuff here to just kind of round out the show, as we've got a few birthdays to mention in lieu of some actors and actresses, as John Schneider is 60 years old today, April 8th. Dean Norris is 57. Actress Patricia Arquette turns 52 from the acclaimed movie of Forrest Gump. And most recently, very popular in the show that was on Netflix is the Netflix original series of House of Cards. Robin Wright is 54 years old, and she is absolutely gorgeous. Robin Wright used to be Robin Wright Penn, as she was married to Sean Penn, but now it's just Robin Wright. 54 years old she turns today. As we said, known as probably one of her most famous roles as Jenny, alongside counterpart as Jenny, as Forrest Gump's love interest in that movie, Forrest Gump, obviously played by Tom Hanks. And speaking of Tom Hanks, having been a few weeks ago, had been, well, I think maybe a month ago now, has been one of the spotlighted people who had been diagnosed, him and his wife, with the COVID-19 novel coronavirus, as they've worked through and are still doing fairly well. And for a lot of people I talked to, he was the one a lot of people were paying attention to in lieu of being a little bit older in age and then also having diabetes. He was what a lot of people turned to as setting the example to see how serious this virus is in lieu of the susceptibility to it having preconceived or pre-existing medical conditions. So from what we understand is that it was a little tough for him, but from what they reported, I think it was about a week and a half ago, is that they've come through it and recovered. But anyway, it was his love interest, Jenny, in the movie Forrest Gump, that Robin Wright is 54 years old today. Another study, boy, they find these studies out of everywhere. It says here, with a study, found that eating 5 fruits and vegetables a day may not cut cancer says the idea of the study is finding that with the idea of antioxidants in fruits and vegetables that don't play a part in extreme antioxidants to help with the free radicals in the body that can cause cancer. It doesn't say what those fruits were or what those vegetables are, but in lieu of the vegetables, I think what's interesting is one of the ideas somebody brought up. What was this the other day? Somebody brought up the idea of eggplant, and a lot of people are big fans of like eggplant parmesan, and then other than eggplant parmesan, I don't know any other way to prepare eggplant. I'm not really a fan of eggplant, and then I found out that it's in the nightshade category. That if it's not cooked thoroughly, it holds certain trace amounts of arsenic or something like that. That is absolutely poisonous to the body. So I imagine that vegetable would be one of them that is something that really may not be the big procurement for the idea in the fight against cancer, so to speak. I don't know. As we're moving through here, this one's a little fun. This will take us to a short little break. It says, New York man hangs flyers, get this, seeking germ-free girlfriend. It says a New York City man hangs flyers seeking a germ-free girlfriend. A 30-something New Yorker seeking a, quote, germ-free girlfriend during the coronavirus pandemic has hung dating flyers along the city running paths. The man, who prefers only to be identified as Brad, a.k.a. steadymanforyou at gmail.com, get this, says in the flyer that he's, quote, seeking a girlfriend for coronavirus and beyond, and describes himself as a healthy, attractive, well-employed man who's looking for germ-free monogamy. So just like everything with this stuff going on, people doing publicity stunts just to be overzealous, anxious, and funny all at the same time, I guess, is what this is getting after, as a New York City man hangs flyers seeking a germ-free girlfriend. Weird. And nonetheless, we're going to take a short little break, and we come back. We'll do just a little bit more fun stuff. We'll round out the show here for this Wednesday, and we'll talk a little bit about what's ahead for your Thursday show as you're listening to 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, WOCA Ocala. And we will be right back with a short break. Stay tuned, guys. We'll be right back.
WOCA.
Hello, I'm Mark Sears with Regency Printing. With over 10 years in the printing business, I know you'll find Regency Printing the place for all your local printing needs. Plus, I have fax services, mailbox rentals, notary service, U.S. mail, pack and ship, all at one convenient location, 2375 Northeast 25th Avenue. Just look for the yellow signs. Regency Printing, 789-6683. That's 789-6683. Regency Printing.
Well, the new year is upon us, and that means getting to those forgotten projects that you promised you would. So whether you're tackling a small honey-do list or building the Taj Mahal, Sunbelt Rentals will help you get the job done right with the right tools. From carpet cleaners to excavators, Sunbelt Rentals has what you need. So what are you waiting for? Get it done. Rent it now. From Sunbelt Rentals, located on Highway 27, just a half mile east of I-75, or visit sunbeltrentals.com. Get it done. Rent it now. Sunbelt Rentals.
A mix of clouds and sunshine throughout the day today. High 88 to 93. For tonight, partly cloudy and warm, low 69 to 71. A seasonably warm day tomorrow with periods of clouds and sunshine. Thursday's high 86 to 92. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy, low 69 to 71. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Kevin Snyder.
Shamrock Security Systems, 629-3223. Shamrock Security Systems is located here in Ocala, Florida. Shamrock Security Systems is a top-rated alarm company offering 24/7 monitoring, video surveillance, fire and flood protection. You'll sleep a little better once the job is done. Shamrock Security Systems for over 31 years. 629-3223. Get a 100% free quote from Shamrock Security. 629-3223.
Hi, Matt Wilkerson here, your Verizon representative with news that will hum your car, make it smart and safe. How? With the new Hum device by Verizon. You can rest assured you're never alone. Flat tire? Lost? Accident? For $10 a month, Hum by Verizon has you covered. And I will come to you in Marion County to install the Hum for free. Time to call me at 352-528-0020. Are you ready to hum along? Call 352-528-0020.
WOCA. Career Source, Citrus, Levy, Marion brings together business and community partners, economic development leaders, and educational providers to connect employers with qualified, skilled talent and job seekers with employment and career development opportunities. Tune in the third Wednesday of each month at 9:30 a.m. to Career Source, Citrus, Levy, Marion, and learn how they can help you.
Tick-tock. The days fly by, and we find tax season is upon us once again. Not to worry, though. With a reputable CPA firm on your side, you can rest assured that all of your needs will be handled in a professional and thorough manner. Robson, Scribner, and Stewart is just that firm. They're there for their clients year-round, not just during tax season, to handle your needs and answer any questions you may encounter. At Robson, Scribner, and Stewart, there is no client too small or too large. Their expertise ranges from the single individual to the largest of corporations. Get your return prepared by a professional who will use their years of experience to ensure that your tax return's outcome will leave you in the best possible position. Call them today at 694-4184. Robson, Scribner, and Stewart. They're there for you today. Again, that number is 694-4184. Time is of the essence, so don't delay. 694-4184. WOCA.
Birds chirping in the background. Beautiful weather out there today, this Wednesday. That's for sure. You're listening to AM Ocala Live, WOCA, The Source, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. Streaming live, YouTube Live, WOCA, The Source Radio. I'm your host, Adam, as we're making our way through the Wednesday, as we just got 10 minutes before the top of the hour. 10 minutes left in the show here, as it was a good show for you today, this Wednesday, as we talked with Galen and we talked with Laura Burns from Career Source. And we talked a little bit about, we had a couple callers call in just sharing their thoughts and perspectives. And with that, it brought up some conversation about the idea of the toilet paper and how everybody we know for like the last month and a half has been in this panic buying of toilet paper in itself. And it's weird because neither does it keep you from getting COVID-19 or does it heal you from COVID-19, yet it's become such a necessity in the mindset of this global pandemic and the idea of panic buying, which is just fascinating altogether. But in the article that I read in with it was how they've ramped up the manufacturing by almost 112% from where it was a year ago to this. And it's not necessarily manufacturing it, it's just trying to get it distributed once they do. But so many people buy it so quickly. And yet, I think what was the most fascinating part about it, just to round out everything that we had talked within that half hour about the article that talked about the toilet paper and the brands that were putting it together, I think was fascinating that although toilet paper is going off the shelves like hotcakes, paper towels aren't. They are not. And I guess that goes back to, at the end of the day, like so many more people are using washable towels and everything else that you would just wash your own. Why would you spend money on that when you would spend it on the toilet paper? And at the end of the day, it's like some of the paper towels are so thin that you'd have no problem with your toilet and not having them get clogged, that you could probably just cut a roll in half. And then there you go. If it really become, destitute times, use toilet paper. I don't know. Interesting nonetheless, but it's just something to think about overall. I think one of the things that's going to go down in history with this global pandemic is the whole toilet paper conversation. I think that's something that will live as a side note to be sort of funny on a comedic level, to kind of trace back the idea to make it seem lighter in the situation, because so many numbers of people have gotten COVID-19 and how it's affected the world and how many people have died and all that as much as we talk about the seriousness of the pandemic in years to come, I think there will always be a side note on the idea of the panic buying in the United States when it came to toilet paper. Interesting. In lieu of the quarantine and everything else, with a lot of people staying home and all this good stuff, it's still obvious, and we were talking about this with Galen a little bit, and I was talking about this with my girl, is that being at home, we're eating and drinking more. Another poll reveals how people are dealing with the quarantine, and one of it is that we're eating constantly, and not only that, washing it down with alcohol to deal with such stress. It says 28% of adults said that they were eating more due to the self-quarantine, compared to just 11% who said they would be eating less. Now, I can say that I've myself have definitely been eating more. And I think that's probably where a lot of people could say, and it makes you wonder about the 11% who said they're eating less. Maybe they're smarter and more rational when it comes to the idea of eating less in lieu of this, and saving their rations, period. But it's interesting that when you think about it, what do you do when you're bored? What do most Americans do when they're bored? You got it. Or stressed or anxious, they eat. And with that comes the idea of more weight, more stagnation, and all that stuff. So with us here in Florida, and with the way I boast about the weather and how it is being close to 90 degrees and sunshine like it is right now, although some clouds moving in and out, but still just an amount of sunshine, get outside and go for a walk. Do what you need to do to still try to exercise a little bit in lieu of everybody consuming more. As we move, here's some fun stuff. It says Jumanji 4 is confirmed to be in development. The Jumanji franchise has proven to be hugely successful. The last December's sequel, Jumanji: The Next Level, earned just shy of $800 million worldwide. That's not quite as high as Welcome to the Jungle's near $1 billion gross, but it's still pretty impressive. And it says that Jumanji 4, the third in this series, but the fourth, including the film from 1995, seems like a no-brainer. And finally, we've got it officially confirmed that it's on its way. Now, what's pretty good about this is that the original, the one from 1995, Jumanji, was on television not that long ago. We watched it with a family. And it's amazing how that movie still holds up. And one of the big reasons that it does, Robin Williams. That's right. That's one of the big parts of it. But it was neat to see the evolution of the idea of the story. Something fresh, but it's not, considering you're still using the backdrop of what is Jumanji. But then with the newer movies coming through to give you a little bit refreshed story in it. And with that, it is confirmed for a fourth Jumanji movie. Here's a wacky but true, to kind of keep things rolling here as we come to the top. It says, wacky but true, teen busted for bragging about spreading coronavirus. Again, it says Texas police has arrested a teen who made numerous claims on her Snapchat, that she planned to intentionally spread the coronavirus. The Carrollton, Texas Police Department identified the teen as an 18-year-old Lorraine Maradadeja, something like that, arrested late Tuesday morning. In one of her Snapchat videos, she said to have taken had been taken to a local COVID-19 testing site, and one of her clips of her Snapchat said that she was here at Walmart about to infest. And it's stuff like that that instigates at the same time. And see, those are instigators nonetheless. And the news is going to report on that just to get at opinions and all that stuff going with it. And to make you angry. But as we're coming towards the end of the show, that's not the point. As we had just a few minutes left, we wanted to touch on here in the mentioning of the show at the very beginning of the day that today is Passover. And with that being said, that the Passover story has a new relevance in the age of the coronavirus. Why is this Passover different from all other Passovers? In one word, coronavirus. And it's going to change the mood at the table, and it's going to change the number of people seated there. Immediate family only, please. It says when the annual holiday begins at sundown, April 8th, and ends at sundown, April 16th. Of course, everybody's holiday this spring is St. Patrick's Day, Easter, Ramadan, Memorial Day are affected in this way. But there is something more about Passover, something that is likely to resonate this year and with many families. Passover is the remembrance of a plague. It says the 10th plague of Egypt, the death of the firstborn, was a single night of terror in which all of the firstborn of Egypt, from the firstborn of the Pharaoh on his throne to the firstborn of the captive in the dungeon to the firstborn of cattle, dropped dead, according to Exodus chapter 12, verse 28 through 30. It says the children of Israel, meanwhile, had special protection. The lamb's blood painted on the lintels was the sign that the people within were to be passed over. And the parallel that death afflicts some and skips others is a very intense one. That's happening in lieu of the coronavirus, said Shmuley Botich, the Orthodox rabbi from Englewood, who has received fame as an author, TV personality, and friend of famous late Michael Jackson. And unfortunately, of course, the night of Passover is triumph over Israel. And with that, I leave you, for those, the Jewish sector, enjoy your holiday the best you can in lieu of coronavirus. For all the listeners out there, thank you as we're wrapping up this Wednesday. And thanks to everybody who tunes in and listens to us as we round out today, Wednesday. We move to tomorrow, Thursday, as we're getting one step closer to the end of this week. Again, to see where we start on Monday, to see where we end up on Friday, in lieu of getting through this pandemic. For everybody, stay safe out there. And until tomorrow, as I always say, goodbye.